excited. All right, guys, so welcome to our live after show for HBO's Girls on thestream.tv. So head on over to YouTube and into Twitter at thestreamtv and use hashtag GirlsAS to send us your questions and your comments. And of course, I'm your host, Candy Washington, and I have my girls with me tonight. I have Jessica and Christina. And joined with us, I'm so excited, is Ellen and Bridget from the Girls on Girls show. So we are definitely getting down and dirty with our girls tonight. So let's dive right in because my heart is kind of bleeding after tonight's episode. So yeah, so Hannah's reaction to Mimi Rose in the apartment. So she kind of breaks down and bunkers down, refuses to leave the apartment. So I feel pretty strongly that she did the right thing. I'm kind of like, go girl, like you stand up for yourself to that mean man. But I know some people feel like maybe she should have left and not stayed.
You and I disagreed.
What are our thoughts?
Tonight.
What are our thoughts?
You know what? I mean, they broke it off, they left it open, and then she comes back and like won't leave. I really felt like Adam was the hero in tonight's episode. I mean, he was taking care of her. He was calling all the neighbors to come take care of her. He left so that she could like have her moment of sadness. And then he bandages her hand and like talks to her about it like an adult. Like I just thought he was the hero today.
But I think it's great that she stayed and made sure that they had resolution, right? I mean, they could have easily avoided it, gone on and on, and
true.
she, you know, it's like he didn't tell her, and he moved all her stuff out.
That was the jerk move. Like moving all her stuff out, and she shows up, and there's like another chick in your apartment, and your stuff is in storage in Fort Greene or Fort Hills, whatever he said. Like, are you kidding me?
No, that was he had 2 years.
Well, no, but I was but I believe that he also that he like said he'd give her the apartment in the end. You know, I feel like that was like the right thing to do. Does she want it after having so much history there?
Totally manned up.
Was she still on the lease? Oh, she was still on the lease, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
She gave him the apartment.
I was okay with him getting the apartment. I was not okay with I'm going to move all your stuff without you do not move everyone's personal possessions without telling them.
I mean,
that's
ever, right? Like, that's basic
That is a good point.
Yeah. That was super disrespectful. And speaking of super disrespectful, let's talk about Jessica's betrayal. Not Jessica, Jessa. You're Jessica.
I was like, what did I do?
Beautiful face. I was looking at your beautiful face. I was looking at your beautiful face. And I was like, Jessica's betrayal.
Spill the beans, Jessica.
I know what did you do? What did you do, Jessica?
Did you move our stuff out of the dressing room?
Like, surprise!
Are you dating Mimi Rose too? Get out of here. No, Jessa's betrayal. So I would kill my best friend if she set up my ex-boyfriend of a month with another chick and did not tell me.
Horrific.
So what do you guys think?
Horrific.
That is god-awful.
Too soon. And she's so oblivious. Like, Jessa was just so, she's like, yeah, you left. I was like, no.
And whose friend is she? You know, like who's like is he her best friend? And it does seem like they've developed a new bond because of their classes. You know, classes. Their what do you call it?
AA meetings.
Yeah, the meetings.
Right.
I wouldn't know.
You know, she's definitely not being her friend in
It's
that
like, where's your
case.
sense of loyalty? Like, are you kidding me right now? I would have punched her in her face, not on her arm.
I agree. I thought that was very light. Like I was expecting a slap or punch in the face. I thought the arm thing was, you know, a little limp-wristed for.
I still go back to the fact, though, that like I know that Hannah was upset, and I know that it was clearly a betrayal from Jessa, but Hannah really went overboard for me tonight. It was too much. Like.
The whole episode was full of Hannah, like classic Hannah poses. The beginning of like over the head. Like she's really good at posing in appropriately tragic ways.
Exactly. That's why we love her. That's like I love Hannah.
I loved the structure of the episode. I mean, just with all the characters and the way they were revealed. You know, like you didn't know when they were there and they were thought. And I'm really glad the episode opened the way it did with Hannah still in this tense moment. Like it didn't jump in time the way that the episode did. And I think it was because the way the episode ended last week, we were all like
on pins and needles. Like what's going to happen?
To start
so
there.
good.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we didn't miss anything.
The writing tonight too.
On point.
Wow, so
it was
tight.
so good.
Agreed.
And like the scene in the end.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We will get there.
Daggers.
Yeah. Speaking of daggers, so Ray's rants. He's so angry, but was like so sweet and was just like, I'll bandage you, I'll make you take it. But he keeps ranting about like traffic and noise, and he's going off about like politics. But like, what do we think is behind his rants? Like, what's really going on with Ray? Like, what do you guys think?
It's such a good topic because there's definitely something behind it.
Yeah, it can't be about honking your horn.
Well, I think he was upset about that I was her whore thing. I think that he's still upset, and he probably wants to hear, maybe he's digging to see if Hannah has something to say about it, because he knows she's close with Marnie.
Oh, he's fishing.
Comforting in a way, looking for more information.
Yeah.
But in the
not gonna
end,
work
I
out
think
with
he was still just wonderful. I mean, he's bandaging her hand.
Yeah.
He's being
He's
comforting.
making her breakfast.
I would say
He's
for
whipping the
Ray.
eggs, and he's like, well, now that you mention it, we all have our stuff.
I don't know. I feel like wonderful is a strong word. I think for Ray, it was generous, like, and more present than maybe normal. But
Absolutely. Well, speaking of him like fishing and things on Marnie, so Marnie actually was kind of the voice of reason. She's like, you just need to let Adam go and like figure it out. But is she also kind of a hypocrite because she's still with Desi, who's clearly this basket case who's using her? It's like, Marnie, how about you let Desi go before you tell Hannah to let Adam go?
Well,
so what do you guys think?
I am so turned off by Desi at this point. Like, I'm just like,
Yes.
ew.
and just the trailer, like we already know what's coming.
Yeah.
Like, thank you for not overloading us on this episode. Like, if we had to deal with Desi's crud in this episode at the same time, it would have just been too heartbreakingly, like, overwhelmingly nauseous.
And Bridget, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think that Marnie's in that stage, and she was even like wearing like sparkles in a way that she doesn't. She's all about like, you know, like wearing loose tank tops while she's having sex. But like,
Don't we all?
she's like in the woodshed sparkly I'm in love phase.
Yeah.
And we've all been there. And like, I feel like when you're in a good mood, that's when you're like, hey, what's going on with you? Let me like, she was doing that.
Well, and all of a sudden, really
point.
sound great advice, which like she has never given. You know, and you're like, wait, you're in the worst situation, but somehow you're like, you have such clarity of mind.
Yeah.
I think the thing is that right now she normally isn't going to give good advice because she always wants it to be about her. So she's actually secure because she's with her guy now. So she has room to give to other people.
Let me get my stink face back on. I am
Such a beautiful face.
after, I know, just for you guys. Just after last episode, his crying, and I'm like, I'm done. Get rid of him. You especially, Candy. It was like a visceral reaction. He like sobs in her mouth.
Ridiculous.
Do you guys hate guys crying in real life? Because I feel like I'd be done with it in real life.
No. I think it's actually like really like nice when a guy feels that he can open up to you.
In real life, you're like, he
But
just
not in that moment. Not when he's crying over his ex-girlfriend.
I like it when
the
a guy.
callousness of it,
I like it when. I like it when a guy gets like choked up. I think that's like really sexy and endearing when he's kind of like, oh, like I do care about you. But like full on crying into my mouth, I would like, you need to leave. Like,
Well, guys, I don't think
not
it's
gonna
about the
happen.
crying. I think crying is, you know, great, like if there's a reason to. But it was like misplaced. I mean, he's crying. And he's coming at her, and it has nothing to do with her. It's so again, self-absorbed in a different way.
Totally.
I mean, it was nice that she could be there to comfort him.
Maybe that's why they're perfect for each other, because they're both so self-absorbed. So they just
That's not good math. That's not gonna work.
Okay, but here's the thing too. Like they've been together for what, like a hot minute, and she's like, "Oh, Desi and I moved in together."
Yeah. Wait, and obviously we had nowhere else to go.
It's like
No.
Are you joking?
No way.
I left Clementine, so now I'm clinging to you. Horrific.
Speaking of being clingy and closure, like we talked about a little bit earlier, so the final breakup conversation between Hannah and Adam, I literally was saying to the girls, I feel like crying. Like everything they were talking about, she's in tears and he's just like, I used to love you, want to be with you, and now I don't. And I was just like, how can you do this to us, Adam?
No, but I felt like I wanted to cry, but in this it was like closure and heartbreaking, but in a, it was complete. The circle's complete.
We all started talking about our like past breakups and relationships. You were like, I feel this, you know? It was so relatable and so well written that I think any girl could relate.
Yeah, I was having
Absolutely.
relationship revelations
absolutely.
about things from the past. You're like, yeah.
I was reliving that every time you walk through the door for the last time. That's like, do you not say anything? Do you say goodbye? It's just, it's the worst.
I know.
And again, Adam handled it so
He handled it well, that's
he
true.
was such a gem this episode.
Oh, Adam.
The way he reacted to the whole thing made me want them to be together again.
Like work it out.
Whereas before I was kind of over it.
Right.
But he was just so great.
He was so great. And on that great note, we will be right back after this short message, and head over to YouTube and to Twitter at The Stream TV and use #GirlsAS and join our conversation. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Woo!
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
This is dancing.
So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot! I literally cannot! You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
The more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy. It was hot. It was heated. I was into it.
You are gonna be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama. Tell them go ahead and turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on the stream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
And welcome back. All right, so for our first fan question, it's at Emory University, says, is romance required in a woman-centered show? At Girls HBO, #Girls HBO. What do we think, guys? Is the romance dead in Girls? Do we need it? Do we not need it? Dun 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 dun.
What's romance?
Like,
I mean, it's like
romance is definitely dead in this show, except for maybe between Mimi Rose and Adam.
Are there any couples on the show that actually we want to see romantic together?
Ray and Shoshanna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
super romantic.
It's gonna happen.
I kind of love them. It's gonna happen. They're super sweet. I guess it's also like how you define romance. Like, it's kind of romantic to like bandage my burn hand.
True.
That is very. But that's like. Ugh, I don't know. I'm really asking. I don't know what romance is. I really don't know.
So then tweet us, guys. Tweet us at, The Stream TV using #GirlsAS. How do you define romance, and do we need it? Help us out. Join our conversation and let us know.
I really think that Hannah and Adam are taking this break, but they're gonna find their way back to each other. She just has to have this inspiring writer phase. With heartbreak.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You think she's gonna be a
I thought
writer?
the setting of the space was like a romantic thing, like when she opens the door and the candles are lit and it's her neighbors, and then even Ray with the bacon cooking, like all these little sort of, I don't know,
Like
and like
touches,
you're saying,
like
wrapping the
cooking and
hands.
wrapping, yeah.
So it was romantic in tone.
Exactly.
Storytelling.
And so for our next fan question, I actually really love this one. It's from @AGirlsPortfolio, and they say, catching up on #GirlsHBO and plagued by the question, what is Shoshanna's hair doing, and what's its season arc? I mean, WTF, I agree. She had these like barrettes and bobby pins going on, and it's sort of like cut here and then like curls and waves, and it doesn't really move. So like, what's gonna happen? Like, what journey will Shoshanna's hair take, guys?
Looking very Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah. She's trying to do this businesswoman look so hard.
Yeah.
But, like, there's always some tiny part of it that's wrong that you're just like, kind of like, ugh, you look like a miniature old woman, and you like.
Yeah, it's very like, it's kind of like her personality. It's very structured and very rigid, and it's just like, this is how it is, and we're not moving at all today, are we?
Right.
No, but Bobby pins last episode were so distracting. Like when she and Ray were walking together, it was just like so many bobby pins. I was like, I don't know where to look right now. I can't focus on the conversation.
I think you really hit on like the genius design though of creating, like, she's trying to get a job and she's trying to fit in so hard, and like, so yeah, doing this sort of corporate thing, but it's not, but like off, like corporate on an angle.
When she had her freak out, that was like the only time we've seen her in like yoga pants.
Yeah,
And
when she had her breakdown.
She needs to be able to,
She'd be
jump
able to move
And
then.
throw things at a mirror.
Yeah.
be agile.
But I thought she was adorable tonight when she walked in. There were just like it was one barrette, and she had like this cute little skirt on with her. I thought she was rocking it.
She was doing it. She was doing it. All right, so for our next question, it comes from Jess Livingstone at Jess Livo, and she says, is Hannah meant to still be together with Adam or what? It's confusing me. #GirlsHBO. What are our thoughts? Together, yay, nay?
I used to feel that she should not be with him. I'm like, she can do better, but he seems to be maybe having some career success. He's getting his act together, like.
Well, he's maturing, in fact.
Yeah.
And now becoming kind of a more eligible, catch.
And she's devolving. She's the one throwing blankets over her head.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, I'm leaving her program
It definitely
and
seems
feeling more lost. Sorry.
No, I was just agreeing. Like, for sure, it seems like she's on the downhill while he's on the uphill, and
That's true. I think she just needs to go and find herself and get back centered. And I'm excited to see Hannah single in the city. Like, that's gonna be fun.
yeah,
like
that is
going
so
on crazy
fun.
dates and like just being wacky. Like, that's the show I'm like gonna tune in every day to watch. Like, I cannot wait to see that.
we haven't seen that yet.
We haven't seen it yet.
It's gonna be so good
It's
to
gonna
see
be-
like single Hannah mingling and
Hanging out with Elijah.
It's gonna be awesome
And I think
sauce.
the video of like Mimi Rose's wisdom really hit on the head. That idea of Hannah like getting back on track about what is it that she wants and needs, even if it wasn't the Iowa workshop.
Yeah.
And it's not Adam, because that's not defining her. Like she
Right.
needs to define her own life for herself.
Yeah, that's true. And so very true. And for our last fan question, it's from Sarah at _birdbrains. Yay. She says, whoa, just caught up on the latest episodes of #GirlsHBO. Is fidelity the stuff of fairy tales? Cheating seems as common as eating. Wait, like eating butt? Sorry. And then she goes, I just. So what are her thoughts? Cheating, fidelity, eating stuff?
I don't know.
These are such loaded questions tonight.
But this brings us back to Hannah. I mean, it was such a heavy episode, but Hannah went away for 2 years, allegedly. So, I mean, that happens in life. People are forced to reconfigure what they want. I don't know.
But then Marnie, like that whole cheating, she was like the other woman with Desi, so that was the whole cheating scandal. And then she was sitting with Ray, which is kind of like not cheating, but it's your best friend's ex. You kind of don't cross that line. So like those lines of like morality have been so blurred in the show. So I think that kind of goes back to it. Like that moral compass kind of is a thing of the fairy tales. But that's okay, because we're not princesses. You don't got to save us. Save ourselves.
I think it gets more to the heart also about like when Ray kind of confesses feeling like the whore, and it's like where's the heart, and what what are people's needs and wants.
Very true. Well, some of our needs and wants is to give you guys some love and to give some shout outs. So here are a few of our Twitter shout outs. We have one to @ZaraBreves, @TonightOnGirls, @KendraK_, @Gabby Kerr, and @DorkShelf. And of course, to our very special guest, we are so excited to have you Girls on Girls Show. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Same time next week. We cannot wait to dive in and see what's going to happen next with Adam and Hannah. So tune in at the Stream TV, #GirlsAS. And yeah, thanks for joining us. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
For more awesome shows, hit that button and subscribe to thestream.tv.